Alright guys, welcome to our first day in Tasmania. We are going to Simmons Plains racetrack and we are going to do some driving. Unfortunately, it seems like it's a little bit wet out right now, but it's looking like it'll dry up. I've heard it's a really fast track and we should have some sweet backies and just some good fun. So I'm looking forward to a nice chill day. This drive has been a game of don't spill the coffee. Every little bump here, every drift car wobble has been making it very tricky. Beautiful scenery though. So here they call these things sheds. I'm excited on a rainy day to have my own little bay. So I've been doing my best to get the car all prepped up and ready to go out on track. It's got the new alignment that I'm excited to feel and test out. But one thing that I am going to do a little bit differently for this track, one common misconception with doing backwards entries and stuff like that is that you need a ton of angle. But even though my car doesn't have a lot of angle, it'll still do really good backies, but the trick is gonna be airing up the fronts, because with a backwards entry, you'll never have your front wheels pointing backwards. So what I'm gonna do is air them up to like 50, 60 pounds, so that way when I go backwards, they can drag and bring around rather than gripping and making the car spin out. So I'm gonna go pump those up, and then we're gonna get out on track and try some backies. So this is gonna be the first time with this thing in a proper circuit. I've got my mic set up, and we're just gonna go kind of get a feel for it, maybe check a couple backies. Looks like a very fast course, so we'll see how this car hangs and how the power is for something like this. So it seems like there's a couple different start lines on track. Kind of cool. A little bit of a different setup. This is the hairpin where I think we'll be able to be doing the backies, so we'll see how she feels. That bank is sick. Car feels quite a bit looser now without 20 mil of toe in, which is kind of a good thing because before it felt really underpowered, but it was just because it was so gripped up. Now it actually feels like it should with the power that it has, so it won't be as competitive if we're driving with grippy cars, but it feels really good. Kind of a tricky track. Car feels a little bit different, like maybe I have a little bit more caster in it or something. Feels very self-steery. I think it's also a bit different too, now that I have such high front tire pressure. The car actually steers a little bit softer, where before I didn't realize I only had 20 PSI in the front, so it felt very, very weird. I tried loosening up the car a little bit suspension-wise, see if that helps. It's hard because there's no real tire marks, nowhere to enter. Like this part's pretty scary. One thing I forgot to mention is that this event is actually pretty special because I guess there's not very often drift events in Tasmania, and most of the drivers here are locals, so they only get like 1 or 2 events a year to come out to, and this is one of them. So it's pretty cool getting to drive with drivers in Tasmania. It's a bit rainy now, but should be getting out to go have some fun again. This one's really, really slippery, but you can still dig out of it. I'm so glad you're so. Oh! Dude, that looked insane.
That was some of the most rubbish driving I've ever done in my life.
Hey, all jokes aside, when you lead, Luke, can you like try to go a little slow because the turbo makes it really hard to keep up with you because you just go and I just spin.
Yeah. I'll just I like my brown car.
So in those past probably like dozen laps plus road course with lots of high to low speed entries in the rain with cars that don't have a lot of grip, will wind up in some dents and some bruises. Luke plowed into me thinking he is all excited and look at that. Well then there, this one was my fault for sure. I hit Luke. Had one just like that on my car actually back in the States, but I think it was on the other side and more in the center of the door. Poor drift car. Somehow the front bumper's still mint. Fender though, not very much. Womp womp womp. Alright, so there's some crazy cultural differences with Australia. The most wild thing that I never would have expected. You guys play beer pong with beer.
Yeah.
In the States, no one uses beer. I've never been to a party where they use beer.
We could turn it up a notch and play with red wine if you want.
No, it makes, so in the States, everyone always plays in their house. So if you play with beer, it makes a mess, everything gets sticky, so everyone plays with water and drinks out of another cup.
Yeah, no, that's so good.
So every single person here plays with actual beer?
Yeah, they're playing with Jack Daniels.
You heard it here first.
Beer in that one and Jack in that?
Jack and CC.
Jack and CC.
Mixing drinks.
Well, they got mixed.
Is this how you end the game?
That's how you
If
lose.
you lose beer pong,
Who welded this?
I don't.
It doesn't matter.
Cares?
It's
Is
not
that
fair.
intercooler piping?
Yeah, I think it's an intake pipe.
Yes,
come on.
Put it
Put it in your mouth. Put it on your lips.
myself in front of all.
I don't care.
Get on your knees, boy.
Get on your knees. There's a lot in that. That was not. Put it in your mouth.
Get on your knees.
No. Hang on. What we doing?
Hurry